This is our Soleus bridge. You're going to start by pushing through the ground, tucking your hips a little bit under you so that your butt lifts off the ground just a little bit, and then you're going to go ahead and lift your heels. You're thinking about keeping the inside of your foot and the outside, so the whole forefoot stays on the ground. Your butt is not super high, pushed up off the ground like a hip thrust, and you're trying to maintain that little bit of a tuck of your butt. And what you should feel is a crampy sensation and a lot of work done in the soleus right above your Achilles, almost like your Achilles is getting sucked up towards your calf in the back of your knee, and really squeeze and hold that. To progress this movement, lift one foot and hold for 5 seconds, maintaining the right foot into the ground, both inside and outside the foot. Keep your heel up high. Good. And now slowly place down. As soon as you hit the ground, get that same stiffness so that the heel stays up. You're pressing through the foot. Try not to lift your back too high off of the ground. Stay a little bit lower and tucked. And switch again. So progress by using this march and even holding as long as 30 to 60 seconds on each side. Okay, so for the finer details on this, let's make sure that you're not doing this huge hip thrust. So you notice that I cued for your butt to be a little bit off of the ground. You can even have your back on the ground in terms of like your middle back and upper back. It's just a really slight tuck and then a little bit of a lift. So do a huge hip thrust and go up to the ceiling. We do not want that. It'll take tension off your calves. The main goal is soleus. So now come down to the ground where you're almost touching and then stay a little bit tucked. There you go. So that little tuck, show 3 untucks. Good. And then there. Perfect. We want to make sure that the tuck is coming mostly from the hamstring. It's not like a big crunch either. Okay. So you shouldn't really get a lot shorter when you do the tuck. Now, we want to make sure again that this is the main muscle. So when I say soleus, I mean like lower calf. That should be really getting smoked. I really like the idea of like almost think about it shortening and pulling up, because when it contracts, it will shorten up. And then remember, we really want to keep our first and fifth met down. So it's really easy for people to like start off. You can drop your butt right now. Little people are for people to do this, start off with their foot turned out. Some people will start off with like one foot way past the other. So like maybe use a mat. You can see she can kind of sense her foot up against that mat, sense her heel up against the mat. Now they're nice and straight across and the feet are straight. If you notice that you're someone that's driving your knees out a lot, maybe you'll benefit by just starting off like early stages by putting something through your knees, not necessarily to squeeze it, but just to keep the alignment. And then if you notice that you're someone whose knees are always falling in with this, maybe you put something like a foam roller that's a little bit bigger that keeps your knees out a little bit too. Now remember, we're lifting up our heels, so go through the whole sequence. Good. Some people might benefit from lifting the hips first and then doing the heels. Other people might benefit from doing the heels and then the hips. Mess around with that and know that the goal is to really get these going. It should be way harder than you'd imagine to start. Now, how high this goes, we want it to go pretty high, but if you start to just feel like your ankle is kind of like dumping forward and it's just easy there, then go a little bit lower and then hold right there. With the march, go ahead and lift one up for me. Good. You want to be able to keep that. It's hard, huh? You want to be able to keep that down. It's perfectly fine. Keep the first and the fifth met down and lift this up, and then lift this foot up. Good. So you want to be able to feel that and hold it. It's okay. Bring it down. Then switch sides. One thing that I don't want to see when you're doing that is when you put your foot down, don't put it down and then collapse and drop your heel. You can relax. You don't have to keep going. I want you to think about when you're running. When we hit the ground, we want stiffness. When we jump, we want some sort of stiffness at the ankle so that your ankle doesn't just completely collapse and fall. So when you're hitting the ground, put it down and show me that you can actually have that soleus fire to keep you there versus it dropping to the ground and then coming back up. So each time you press down, you're already solidified before you even lift the other foot, okay? So the first part is just get 60-ish seconds, holding the heels up on both sides, at least 30, and then you can start messing around with lifting one up and holding for 3 to 5 seconds. In the long run, I would definitely love for you to be able to get 60 seconds with single leg, just holding and being able to breathe like that. And you should get a ton of soreness from these in the coming days, especially the first few times you do them. If you have any questions about that, please let us know.